Hi, this is Mark Littleton, the minister of the Word for the Athens Church of Christ, with today's 3-minute sermon. During the month of April, we are journeying together through John's Gospel. And every day on our 3-minute sermon, I've been sharing with you a particular text from John's Gospel and trying to make some application of that text to our lives. We come today to John chapter 9. And I want to share with you a text at the beginning of this chapter. And again, if you have a Bible handy today, I would encourage you to get your Bible or get your device and look up on your Bible app and read John chapter 9, verse 1, and read down through about verse 12. There's this interesting account of Jesus healing a man who had been born blind. And I think there's some great lessons that we can get from this and apply to our lives. I just want to share a few things with you as I read through the text this morning. John 9, beginning in verse 1, it says, "As Jesus went along, he saw a man blind from birth. His disciples asked him," it's a very interesting question. They said, "Rabbi, teacher, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" I want you to notice what the disciples here are doing as they see this man who was blind from birth. The question they ask reflects the fact they're trying to figure out who is to blame for this situation. Is it this man? Is it his parents? Who is to blame for this man being born blind? In other words, they don't really see a blind man. They see a problem, and we got to figure out who's to blame for this. That's so often what we do in our lives, isn't it? We do it in our culture. We do it in our families. We just do it in our own individual lives. We want to find somebody to blame for the situation we're in. Nationally, the Republicans think it's the Democrats' fault. The Democrats think it's the Republicans' fault. The Congress is blaming the president. The president's blaming the Congress. Nationally, we're looking for somebody to blame, right? In our own families, in our own lives, we want to find someone to blame for the circumstances we're in. It's my parents' fault. It's the way I was raised. It's this or it's that. And there may be some truth to some of those things we come up with. But it really isn't helpful just to figure out who's to blame. And Jesus just really ignores this. Notice how Jesus responds to their question. He says, "Neither this man nor his parents sinned," said Jesus, "but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him. As long as it's day, we must do the works of him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. While I'm in the world, I am the light of the world." Notice Jesus doesn't get into the blame game. Jesus sees a man. He sees a man who needs to be healed. And Jesus heals, by the grace of God, he heals this man. He doesn't get into the blame game. He sees this man's problem as an opportunity for God to work and for God to be glorified. Let me challenge you today to look at your own life as I look at mine. There are a lot of circumstances in our lives that maybe are not our fault. And maybe it'd be easy to blame somebody else. But instead of doing that today, let me challenge you to do this. Ask yourself, what might God want to do in this situation and in these circumstances? Instead of assigning blame, what might God want to do to bring glory to himself in the midst of this situation? What might God want me to learn? What might he want to teach me in the midst of these circumstances? I think that's going to be far more profitable than looking for who to blame. Well, Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow for another 3-minute sermon. God bless.